Okay, we got everything back up and running again. Kate Friel, where are you at? Where is Kate? Announcer Kate, where did you go? Ah, you're right in front of me. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, let's just make sure we're still on. We're still on. Hello. John Paul, camera 3's live again. Okay, we're going to go over and finish this Jonathan Schwemmler interview. It was a self-inflicted wound here. We were up on the trailer to get everything organized, and the staff member accidentally hit the power switch, which took out the live stream, and it took out the microphone. But we got it working again for you folks at home, and we're going to come in here. Okay, Jonathan Schwemmler, most of our interview got cut off, and so we're going to sort of pick up a little bit where we left off here. And so the myth that circulates around when it comes to the Pro Late Models, sponsored by Huron Taxi Service, they say the track is too small. Your thoughts?
I don't think that. I think it's just a perfect size for late models here. Go door to door with anyone.
Okay, and so you have a lot of fun out here each week in this late model. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I have a lot of fun. Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere else right now.
Okay, who do you want to thank tonight for keeping you in the seat?
Devin Horton for giving me the ride, basically. And then obviously the track and the go-karts for sponsoring us, and everyone that comes out every week.
Right on. Jonathan Schwemmler in the Evel Knievel #1, looking super sharp out here. And, you know, I thought I'd leave you a gift. Do you ever wonder when you're driving who the other drivers are?
No.
Oh, then this announcer roster is not useful to you. They're in the mirror. Don't worry about it, he says. Okay, race fans, if you are a race fan and not a driver, so if you're a race fan but not a driver, you can start making your way back up to the grandstands using the turn one side. You guys look like you want to be on TV, though. You're saying you're waving the camera in, you're kind of making faces, you're getting your hat stolen, lots of shenanigans out here. Tell the folks at home, what's your name, where are you from?
My name is Bryson Fuller, and I'm from London, Ontario.
Okay, and so you have a substitute driver tonight. Who's subbing in for you tonight?
Keegan Lamott.
Okay, Keegan, how's it going for you tonight?
Good. There was problems with the car, but we fixed it.
All right. So you feeling good for the feature here?
Yeah.
All right. Well, best of luck to you tonight. And you're handing out the little cards. Did you didn't have custom cards printed up for him tonight, though?
No.
Okay. It would have been a collectible. It would have been a limited edition.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no limited editions tonight, but we'll see. Maybe a checkered flag. It's a fast cart. It's a fast cart. So again, attention in the pits. If you are a race fan and not a driver or crew member, if you can be heading your way up to the grandstand, let's swing on down here and catch a quick word with the Tri-State Sprints. Okay, coming on down here to chat with the Tri-State Sprints. Jim, yep. I didn't get you during the pre-race. Kate and I, we went and filmed pre-race interviews with all the Tri-State Sprint drivers and promoters, everyone but you. So you're the one who gets to be here during the live show. You're part of the live show tonight, Jim.
Lucky me.
Lucky you? Lucky. I think lucky you. So you made the trip across the border up here. How's Grand Bend Speedway treating you so far tonight?
Very nice, very nice.
So this is a brand new track to you guys for the Tri-State Sprint program. You're here doing exhibition testing tonight. You're going to report back to the other drivers what you saw and what you felt. What'd you see? What'd you feel?
It's really fun. I think it's really racy. So
looking forward certainly to the exhibition here tonight.
I think so. Yeah, it'll be good.
Okay, tell us a little bit about this car.
It's old.
It's old.
It's old, like me.
Oh, you're as young as you feel.
Old.
So you feel okay. Usually they say,
haven't you watched me get in and out of it? It's almost worth the price of admission.
Oh, we could film that. We could film that and see if the view count goes up, right? And see if they want to watch that. Maybe a viral clip for you there. Tell us about this super modified though.
You know, I can't tell you a lot about it. I bought it in New Hampshire, me and my wife, and my dad ran them when I was a kid, and I used to sit in his and play in it. So I whined to her for 35 years that I wanted to drive one. She finally told me to shut up and go get it.
Okay. Well, keep four wheels on the ground tonight, and we'll be happy for you.
There you go. Thank you.
All right, Jim Heaney in the. I didn't even see what number it was. Where's the number? Oh, it's all. See, I'm not used to looking. I'm always used on the junior sprints. I'm looking on the fuel, but it's up there on the fully functional tabletops. So that's great. Good luck out there, Jim. So again, if you are down and here on the track and you are a fan, you can be heading back up to the grandstand. The drivers are, if we were walking over here, we'd see the junior sprint drivers are all getting into their vehicles. Myself and Kate are going to head on back up to the broadcast tower. My name's John Houghton. We'll check back in just a few minutes. John Houghton here with Grand Bend Speedway. I'm with John Boy Hodgkins out of Michigan. You're making the trip with the Tri-State Sprints, and it's great to have a Michigan Motorsports Hall of Famer here at the track.
Wow, thanks a lot, John. I appreciate that. I'm still bouncing off the ceiling by being that in 2015, and now I'm vice president of the Michigan Motorsports Hall of Fame. What an honor, what a joy, what a pleasure.
And so we're here tonight with the Tri-State Sprints. Walk us through how that program got started and what you're trying to do here.
Well, this goes back to the Tri-Stack days, who ran everything. They run sprints and modifieds and super modifieds all together. And I seen how successful the 10-inch tire was working on the super modifieds in that new group that Larry Gibson's got going, and Lorraine and Sandusky. And I said, well, if the supers can do it, why can't the sprint cars? Why can't we save some money and put on a good show? I had 2 shows last year, got rained out of the first one this year, and really looking forward to coming up here, and I'm glad we did this demo run, did some practicing ourselves, so we got a handle on what's going on up here. What a neat track.
And so we're here at the track. We're at the infamous Tri-Oval is what we sometimes call it, and first time we've ever had full-size sprint cars on the track. What are the drivers saying?
It's a challenge, but they've come around quickly like good drivers do. But what I'm excited about is I've got full tilt sprint cars running the 10-inch tires, and I got super modifieds like we got here with Jim Heaney with 10-inch tires all the way around, and then we're going to have the must-see light series with a 602 small engine. They can run their big tire that they run normally. So that's what I call diversity.
So it's a tight bull ring out there, a lot of fun. Again, the first time we've had these drivers out here. It's the Tri-State Sprint Series. They're running an exhibition event tonight, just feeling things out, seeing how things go. Their main event later in the summer, coming up in August. Anyone else you want to thank out there tonight, John?
August 23rd, yeah. Dave and Keisha Howe from Beacon Sales Service, and Lori Doolittle from Ameriprise Financial in Charlotte, Michigan, have come on board and helped me out a ton. And I'm excited to get started, and I'm sure glad we came up here for the hospitality and to find out what this track's all about.
We're glad to have you here, John Houghton, for Grand Bend Speedway here with the Tri-State Sprint Series, and looking forward to seeing what they can do tonight. So John Houghton here for Grand Bend Speedway. And who are you and where are you from?
My name is George Gustafson. I am from Michigan, right around Lansing, Michigan area.
And so you're up here today. We've got the Tri-State Sprints running an exhibition program up here at the track. Tell us about the Tri-State Sprint Series. What exactly is going on here?
Well, John Hotchkiss, he's the one that came up with the Tri-State Sprints. What it is they've come up with running a 10-inch tire on the right rear, thinking it would even up competition. Take the engine out of the factor, out of the equation. Well, it really doesn't. That tire hooks up like you can't believe. This car's got 900 horse plus, and it hooks up, although we haven't found the sweet spot yet, stagger-wise, wedge-wise, and so forth yet. But when I get on the throttle, it hooks. I'm picking the left front off the ground, you know. And the track, it's very interesting. The tri-oval, we're learning that. And I'm not there yet, but we're running I think 1140s, 1130s right now, and this should be in the 10s when we get new tires on and come around. We figure it out.
So we're really looking forward to seeing these out there tonight. We've never had full-size sprint cars. We've also got a super modified out here today. Really, the Tri-State Sprint's all about getting some of this old equipment some new life, really.
Super's not that old. What that is, that was a Super that came out of Oswego, and they put a 350 in it and the small tires again. Those things get around. Those are going to be tough to beat here because they love the tri-oval. A Sprint doesn't necessarily like a tri. Maybe it's just me.
Take us for a quick tour of the car. If someone's never seen a Sprint car before, walk us through as if we've never seen one of these before. It's a real neat looking vehicle.
Well, Sprints are as old as 30s, 20s, you know, it's the same thing. And they haven't evolved that much, really. Right now, you got shock packages. That's big. Engine-wise, they're up there. And you see the wing that plants the car better. I mean, I don't know. Take a look inside. You know, look in the cockpit. Am I allowed to say that?
Is it a comfortable fit for you?
It's tight. You got to be tight because these things beat you right up. And if you get these things get airborne. I've been end over end. I've been, you know, and I'm not young anymore. You know.
Well, we'll keep 4 wheels on the ground tonight. That's the plan tonight for the Tri-State Sprint Series. George, pleasure to meet you. Thanks for making the trip up. Really appreciate it.
We're enjoying. Gord has been great. You guys have been great. Everybody's great. Yeah, we're having fun up here. We're looking forward to bringing a group of guys up here. We'll bring at least 10, maybe 14, 15 cars when we come.
Well, that's going to be a heck of a thing. That's at the end of August. Check grandbendspeedway.ca for full schedule. Tri-State Sprints on track tonight for some exhibition competition. Main event coming up in August. She heard me. Race fans, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the starting lineup for tonight's exhibition competition for the Tri-State Sprints. Traveling all the way here from Michigan, they'll be back on August the 23rd for their main event. These are the first drivers to ever race on Grand Bend Speedway in full-sized sprint cars. And they're going to report back to their drivers in Michigan how much fun they had. And we'll see the rest of the group up here on August the 23rd. It's going to be a single row, one-on-one duel, sprint car versus super modified. Driving the number 97 sprint car out of Potterville, Michigan, this is George Gustafson. And also up on the front row from Stockbridge, Michigan, this is Jim Heaney. Now, these vehicles are directly driven. They do not have a starter in them. They have to be pushed to start. And they've only got one gear. That's forward, that's go. And they're going to be getting ready to let it rip here. Now, before we get started, I'm going to come up and see Will. Will, you and I don't usually chat on the air, but I thought we would chat tonight. So you're going to be setting these drivers loose here in a moment. Do you have any duct tape under your hat to keep it on?
No, I don't.
Okay, do you want to borrow some duct tape? You're going to be fine?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're out there. I'll let you do your job. Will up in the flag stand, folks. And again, these are the Tri-State Sprints. 2 drivers coming up to report back to their club in Michigan. And we figured they might as well stick around and show the race fans what we might see. A little taste at the end of August. Kate?
Fans, we'd like to remind you to please remain at least 3 feet back from the fence.
I gotta say, stay halfway up the hill.
Yeah, at least.
The insurance said stay 3 feet from the fence. I'm gonna say halfway up the hill. Because
also, make sure to keep your eyes on these vehicles at all times. Fans in the stands, keep your eyes on the vehicles.
Okay, so we are getting set to go here with the Tri-State Sprinters exhibition event. So as we get set to here go with the Tri-State Sprints. Sprint cars are open-wheel, lightweight vehicles with high horsepower, generating close to 900 horsepower in this very light 1,600-pound car. The vehicles are easily recognizable, of course, with their signature top-mounted wing that generates additional downforce for incredible cornering. Combine that with the high horsepower and lightweight, and that makes a sprint car a thrill to watch wherever they race. The Tri-State Sprints run two types of vehicles. We've got the sprint car, as you see out front, but they've also got this other type of car called the Super Modified. Also runs the upper wing, although that wing will move while he's driving, actually, depending on the air pressure that time. It's got little shock absorbers. Now, the white flag's coming out here one lap before we send these drivers at it for the Tri-State Sprint exhibition. Our flagman will, in case you were worried about him, he actually won't be staying up in the stand. The sprint cars are actually too fast to use that flag stand, so he'll set them loose, and I think he's going to make his retreat back. So, Tri-State Sprinters exhibition. Let's see what they can do. Green flag flies, and we are at it. Rip it into turns 1 and 2 and pedal to the metal down the back straightaways. And we are off and running. Big tires, big wings, and they're finding where they can lay that horsepower down. The 18 of Jim Heaney trying to see if he can find a bit of a run here. Again, the drivers will be taking it easy here in exhibition competition, but trying to find where they can lay down the power. For those watching from home, the ground is just a shaking here at Grand Bend Speedway when these drivers come by. Ground pounding, earth shaking, sprint car and super modified.
It's nothing like hearing these open wheel motors rip down the front stretch at Grand Bend Speedway.
Sort of imagine, we've got just a pair of them out here. They were saying they're going to get a bunch of them out for August. I don't know how, you wouldn't need that many to really just, you know, we're over here. We sometimes hear the drag strip making noise over here. This time the shoe will be on the other foot. Trouble in the back straightaway though. Jim Heaney kicked it a little bit loose there on the back stretch. And the caution will come out here. I didn't see what happened to Jim. We'll see if the checker flag media crew caught it. They were probably looking at the leader. Would have been a solo spin over there. He was a little bit loose, I saw, coming out of the exits. He was really trying to get the power down as quick as he could. Again, here on the tight bull ring. Safety crew will be there here to give him a little helpful push. See what the skinny is there. But wasn't that awesome just to experience the thrill of sprint cars and super modifieds here on this quarter-mile track. It's a bull ring. And it looks like Jim might need a bit of a pull here. I didn't quite see. He might have just kissed that outside wall. Yeah, he's going to hop out of it there. He might have just kissed the outside wall there. These guys have been practicing all day long, and they were saving the good stuff for when the fans were here. They've run a ton of laps earlier in the day, and we thought, you know, what the heck? Let's just keep them around here during feature race competition here so the fans would be able to see what they were all about. And I think Jim was really going for it there out of turn 2. And I think he might have just kissed the wall.
Well, the drivers that are here are definitely going to take this extra test session to their advantage. If they're coming back in August, they're going to use this in order to work on setup, work on speed, and make sure that they can be at the front when they come back.
Well, yeah, and definitely big advantage to these drivers. Definitely big advantage to these drivers who made the trip up here to do the test. So we'll see. We see the tech director down there for the Tri-State Sprints just having a look there. See what the skinny is. We have our tow truck and flatbed on standby if they want to pull them off. But they might just be looking at it to see whether he can continue. He might be able to continue. John Paul, if you zoom in there, is the driver in? No, I think the driver's out of the car. Let's follow that 97 around there. So yeah, as we were saying, the Tri-State Sprints you know, they're a new program. They're heading into their this is their second season of competition. Most of the drivers are based in Michigan. The Tri-State Sprint name is a reference to the 3 states most of the drivers are from. Most of them are from Michigan, Indiana, or Ohio. And as we were saying during the pre-race show, it's sort of a callback to a series that was called the Tri-Sac series. Sort of a run what you brung series of sprint cars and super modifieds, trying to keep the old equipment in use. And so the Tri-State series that we're testing out here tonight aims to reignite that style of competition, allowing both sprint cars and super modifieds to compete fairly under an open rule book, provided the vehicle is running those cost-saving 10-inch tires that we talked about during the pre-show. Those can help to equalize out the competition. Yeah, it looks like they are going to bring the tilt load out there to just help Jim's vehicle off the racetrack there, which is tough because I know he wanted to make the full lap there. Drove all the way from Pottersville, Michigan, or sorry, Stockbridge, Michigan. It's George, the other driver out there, who's from Potterville. And again, they already got all the information they needed earlier in the night during the practice sessions. But we did want to keep them around, really showcase the speed and thrills that the cars are capable of, the drivers are capable of, give them a few extra laps here in front of the fans. And Jim, I think, just got a little greedy out of turn 2 there. We didn't catch it on tape, but I was watching him. He was trying to get the loud pedal down as fast as he could out of that turn. And the super high horsepower, yeah, you heard him say he just got that car, actually. It's been a lifelong dream of his. He was actually new to super modified racing. You know, he's saying during the fan appreciation interview, he's an older guy, but this has always been his dream. He used to follow his dad around racing the super modifieds, and finally convinced his wife to let him get a hold of one of these. He said he was grinning from ear to ear when we talked to him before the races. Like, these guys were out here again all afternoon ripping around. Promoter John Boy was out as well, checking out the track, scoping out the situation. But yeah, they're just wanting to make sure they load that vehicle. They don't want to do any more damage to it. Unclear sort of what the damage might be. Again, I think he just kissed the wall out of 2. Because if he'd spun the tires and just gone down to the infield, I think he would have been fine. He can't drive out of it, of course, because they're direct driven, even if he pulled back onto the racetrack. But again, it's a new car for that driver, like brand new to him. It's not a new car by any stretch of the imagination. It was actually an older style, super modified, but brand new to that driver. And I think sort of the feeling there is let's just load this on the trailer here, because we've had a lot of fun today already.
The crew doing a good job working with a vehicle that
it's very new to us. It's you know, very different than what we normally run here at Grand Bend Speedway. Well, I guess it's the scaled up version of what we normally run, really. When you think about the NASCAR Ontario Pro Sprints, think about the 9 horsepower sprints that aren't here tonight. Right? Really, these are the full-size versions of those cars.
But we've got some experienced flatbed workers down there doing their best.
They just want to make sure when they pull it up, again, it's so new to us and new to that driver as well. They had the competition director just making sure. And this is actually part of the, you don't want to say it's good this happened, because it's not good that it happened, right? It was, you know, kiss the wall and you break a suspension component, whatever happened down there that's taken him out of it. Not too serious, to say the least, but one of the things that is beneficial for us at Grand Bend Speedway as part of this test is actually a little one onto a flatbed. Make sure we've got the mounting points all set, that our staff has that experience.
Yeah, and making sure that you're prepared for the situation when they come back in August. So what we'll do... We don't want him to be down there. We don't want it to have to be loaded, but it is a good learning experience. So
John Paul up in the checkerflagmedia.com stand, if you want to go run one of those interviews with the Tri-State Sprints while we get this cleaned up, I think I'm going to go chat with a fan. Because, you know, earlier tonight, so John Paul, I think he's going to run that clip. John Houghton here with Grand Bend Speedway. I'm with John Boy Hotchkiss out of Michigan. You're making the trip with the Tri-State Sprints, and it's great to have a Michigan Motorsports Hall of Famer here at the track.
Wow, thanks a lot, John. I appreciate that. I'm still bouncing off the ceiling by being that in 2015, and now I'm vice president of the Michigan Motorsports Hall of Fame. What an honor, what a joy, what a pleasure.
And so we're here tonight with the Tri-State Sprints. Walk us through how that program got started and what you're trying to do here.
Well, this goes back to the Tri-Stack days, who ran everything. They run sprints and modifieds and super modifieds all together. And I seen how successful the 10-inch tire was working on the super modifieds in that new group that Larry Gibson's got going in Lorraine and Sandusky. And I said, well, if the supers can do it, why can't the sprint cars? Why can't we save some money and put on a good show? I had 2 shows last year, got rained out of the first one this year, and really looking forward to coming up here, and I'm glad we did this demo run, did some practicing ourselves, so we got a handle on what's going on up here. What a neat track.
And so we're here at the track. We're at the infamous Tri-Oval is what we sometimes call it. And first time we've ever had full-size sprint cars on the track. What are the drivers saying?
It's a challenge, but they've come around quickly like good drivers do. But what I'm excited about is I've got full tilt sprint cars running the 10-inch tires, and I got super modifieds like we got here with Jim Heaney with 10-inch tires all the way around, and then we're going to have the must-see light series with a 602 small engine. They can run their big tire that they run normally. So that's what I call diversity.
So it's a tight bull ring out there, a lot of fun. Again, the first time we've had these drivers out here. It's the Tri-State Sprint Series. They're running an exhibition event tonight, just feeling things out, seeing how things go. Their main event later in the summer, coming up in August. Anyone else you want to thank out there tonight, John?
August 23rd, yeah. Dave and Keisha Howe from Beacon Sales Service, and Lori Doolittle from Ameriprise Financial in Charlotte, Michigan, have come on board and helped me out a ton. And I'm excited to get started, and I'm sure glad we came up here for the hospitality and to find out what this track's all about.
We're glad to have you here. John Houghton for Grand Bend Speedway here with the Tri-State Sprint Series, and looking forward to seeing what they can do tonight. So John Houghton here for Grand Bend Speedway. And who are you and where are you from?
My name is George Gustafson. I am from Michigan, right around Lansing, Michigan area.
And so you're up here today. We've got the Tri-State Sprints running an exhibition program up here at the track. Tell us about the Tri-State Sprint Series. What exactly is going on here?
Well, John Hotchkiss, he's the one that came up with the Tri-State Sprints. What it is they've come up with running a 10-inch tire on the right rear, thinking it would even up competition. Take the engine out of the factor, out of the equation. Well, it really doesn't. That tire hooks up like you can't believe. This car's got 900 horse plus, and it hooks up, although we haven't found the sweet spot yet, stagger-wise, wedge-wise, and so forth yet. But when I get on the throttle, it hooks. I'm picking the left front off the ground. You know, and the track, it's very interesting. The Tri-Oval, we're learning that, and I'm not there yet. But we're running, I think, 1140s, 1130s right now, and this should be in the 10s when we get new tires on and come around, we figure it out.
So we're really looking forward to seeing these out there tonight. We've never had full-size sprint cars. We've also got a super modified out here today. Really, the Tri-State Sprint's all about getting some of this old equipment some new life, really.
The Super's not that old. What that is, that was a Super that came out of Oswego, and they put a 350 in it and the small tires again. Those things get around. Those are going to be tough to beat here because they love the Tri-Oval. A Sprint doesn't necessarily like a Tri. Maybe it's just me.
Take us for a quick tour of the car. If someone's never seen a Sprint car before, walk us through as if we've never seen one of these before. It's a real neat looking vehicle.
Well, Sprints are as old as 30s, 20s, you know, it's the same thing. And they haven't evolved that much, really. Right now, you got shock packages. That's big. Engine-wise, they're up there. And you see the wing that plants the car better. I mean, I don't know. Take a look inside. You know, look in the cockpit. Am I allowed to say that?
Is it a comfortable fit for you?
It's tight. You got to be tight because these things beat you right up. And if you get these things get airborne. I've been end over end. I've been, you know.
That's a
Steering broke.
That's
coming out of the corner.
That's probably actually the best spot that could have happened.
Yeah,
actually.
halfway through would have been catastrophic.
So for those who are joining us online, checkerflagmedia.com just came back. We got the report on what happened to the 18. I think we'll absolutely get a great report out of that driver because it happened in the perfect spot. His steering spontaneously broke. Spontaneous steering breakage on the 18 of Jim Heaney out of Stockbridge, Michigan. And I'm going to say, I was just saying, if he was going to have his steering brake, that was the best spot for that to happen because that's actually the slowest spot on the racetrack. You're just getting back on the gas.
Well, also you're coming out of the corner, right? So you're going to drift more towards the wall and kind of kiss it, and then hopefully you're going to veer towards the infield. If you do that in the center of the corner, you're probably going to drive straight through the outside wall.
Yeah, I was going to say a steering failure over in, say, turn 3 or turn 1, both of which would have caused a bunch of damage. And so I think we're going to thank he's lucky tonight, I think, on that one, fortunate, you know, and that's tricky. Steering failures do happen on race cars. It's one of the reasons they have all that safety equipment, but he didn't hit anything. So that's a good news story, I think, for Jim Heaney. We'll certainly see him back out on August 23rd for the Tri-State Sprints. Great little exhibition, though. I think we got, at least from my perspective, I got everything I needed out of that exhibition. I was able to see, you know, sort of the feel of what that's going to be like. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun in August.
We've got a white flag in the air.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Junior Sprints, the Pinedale Motor Inn Junior Sprint.
Starting from the first position, the pole position, driving the number 18H, that's Edwin Hyde out of Petrolia. Up on his high side is going to be the number, or right behind him, I should say, is the number 2 of Blake Watson, the road runner. The 6X is Maxwell Lloyd. And down the front straightaway, we mash the gas. The green flag flies. The blue number 6 is Alexis Eaton out of London. And we're off and racing with the Pinedale Motor Inn Junior Sprinters. Look in the middle of this pack, Kate. They're looking 3 wide. Oh, they thought better of it. The 10 thought better of it. The Tabby 10 of Tyson Fusil packed out of that deal. Your front trio, though, the ones to watch here out front, 18H Edwin Hyde, 6X Maxwell Lloyd, 2 Blake Watson, 6 is Alexis Eaton. Those are your front 4. But the action is right here at the start-finish line. As we take a look, battle for the lead, though, going into turn 3, the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd wants to go wheel to wheel here, tucks back into line.
And that kind of opens the door for Blake Watson to catch those 2. Blake Watson right on the bumper there. Looks to the inside. She's racing for second.
She's got her nose in. Not able to get the run there. The 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. He's no slouch himself. You've got 4, I would say, of the top drivers at the front of this one right now. The 10 of Tyson Fusil's on his way, another strong runner in this division. The 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. He's picking up and going to work here out of turn 4. I think he thinks he's got the car to beat tonight because he keeps on looking. He's taking a peek. Watch him cross down. Oh, he does a little trick there. Crosses back to the high side. I thought he might do a crossover to the low side there coming off the turn. I suppose his real goal here is to get alongside the 18H of Edwin Hyde, try to keep him pinched off.
Edwin Hyde took the last race in the junior sprints here at Grand Bend Speedway. He's looking to do a repeat.
Definitely a strong runner. The 2 of Blake Watson, though, she would be desperate to get back to victory lane. You know, once you get that checkered flag in your hand there, 1 checkered flag is sweet, 2 checkered flags. You want to prove the first one wasn't a fluke, right?
After you get the first one, you just chase checkers after that.
Well, it's sort of been my experience that, again, once you sort of break that that thought in your mind, you know, that checkered flags are for someone else, and you realize that, oh, actually they're for me, you really do start to chase. And you know what that feels like, right? So they got 2 lap cars ahead of them there. This is going to be a little bit of a game of, lap cars stay to the bottom. Good job, lap cars. I love that. Good job, junior sprinters. Learning every lap. I got a little nervous there. When you're coming up on the lap traffic, you don't quite know how that's going to go, but
But we're halfway through this race already, John.
And the 6X of Maxwell, he keeps trying. There goes the 2 of Blake Watson. Driver out of West Lauren makes the move. That was good for second. 6X of Maxwell Lloyd, he tried on that leader. Wasn't able to get the position.
Now Blake Watson's going to go to work on Edwin Hyde.
Let's see here. This is going to be something to see. The 2 of Blake Watson, the road runner, she's been fast this year. She had that win earlier in the season. Traffic has been a little bit tricky for her, and she's got a mess of it out front, but it is the black 18H of Edwin Hyde who is our leader. 6X of Maxwell Lloyd up to the high side on the 2 of Blake Watson as she works through traffic here. Yeah, the traffic was not her friend on that one there.
But there's more traffic to come, and
Tons.
who knows how that's going to play for the rest of this race.
3 wide for a moment there through traffic. 18H, Edwin Hyde, your leader. Working this lap traffic here. Killian Collins in the 75. That was the winner of the B main going a lap down there. Blake Watson closing that gap up through traffic now. So it is your front 2 leading the way here at the stripe. Get the 5 to go signal. 6X Maxwell Lloyd trying high. Oh, he bobbles there off turn 2, loses a mess of track position on the leader. That might be all we wrote there for that challenge. The 2 of Blake Watson's going to be coming up here trying to get that runner-up spot. 4 laps to go.
Blake Watson looking to set up this corner and hopefully get a little bit of an edge, but lap by lap, got to try and get to the front. They've caught Edwin Hyde again.
They're all together. All 3 of them. 3 laps to go. The trio has found each other. And also, don't look down, the 6 of Alexis Eaton, the blue machine, also in this front group. You're full trouble.
2 to
Contact. Light contact between the 2 sends the 6 spinning. We'll see on the replay here what we got. 6X, oh, he got loose off of 4. And then the contact. So he got loose on the high side. We'll watch it in slow motion here. We're looking at the black 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. You see right here, he goes up, the back end just comes around. 2 of Blake Watson's got nowhere to go as he cuts across the nose, and he's heading straight to the infield. I think he thinks he got tagged, but it was a solo deal, at least from the checkerflagmedia.com replay. The officials could score someone else as involved, but I don't think... Yeah, I think they are going to send her back as an involved vehicle, which it is true. The 6X did go around off the front bumper of the 2. And so it's not necessarily an indication of fault, but rather an indication of an involved car. And so they'll say that she's an involved car. And
Yeah, it's a tough break for the 2 of Blake Watson.
Was, yeah, because it's like, where do you go? And it's like, it happens so fast, because it's, you and I have driven cars similar to these, and you're sort of sitting there and you go, well, can she hit the brakes? And the answer is, like, you can, but you don't have time. You're pedal to the metal all the way around, and you're trying to catch, and when that car comes across, and you just, there's no time. If you go back and watch the replay at full speed, it's like there's absolutely no time.
Well, and these are junior sprint drivers too, right? So these are kids, they're learning the sport. Their reaction time is not going to be the same as a driver that's been driving for 20 years. They're not even 20. They're mostly under 14. So they're not at the same experience as some other drivers, and they are doing their absolute best.
But you know, interestingly, as we look at what's going to happen here, the 2 of Blake Watson, I don't think she's out of this, because they had put so many drivers a lap down. They had put so many drivers a lap down. She's actually, it looks like she's actually going to start. Check this out, King. She's going to restart on the inside of row number 2. She's not really. Oh, they flipped
Be the inside of row 3.
Row 3, they just flipped them around there as we were looking. It's not a bad spot, actually. 3 laps to go. There's not much to do. 90 at Paisley Lamont here on the front straight is the reason that the caution is continuing. They're trying to get her fired up here, and they do. So yeah, it's a tough go certainly for Blake Watson, but this thing ain't over yet. 4 laps to go, anything can happen. Junior sprint competition. 3 laps? Kate, we gotta have you up here more often. Kate knows the lap count.
Race Monitor's a great tool.
Race Monitor is a great tool. You know, if you go to race-monitor.com, a lot of people don't know this, but if you go to race-monitor.com, you can actually watch the live timing and scoring of these races alongside the broadcast to see all your favorite drivers.
And since we're using Race Monitor, we might as well just take a look. Like, the fastest lap time has actually been by the 6 of Alexis Eaton on that last lap.
So
it was a 15.1.
So check that out there, John Paul. So the blue 6 of Alexis Eaton is actually the fastest car on the racetrack right now. She'll be restarting high side run.
And then the 6X of Maxim Lloyd, and then the 2 of Blake Watson.
And no surprise
those times are like...
And they're close, I bet.
They're very close. They're only about 0.05 of a second apart between those 3.
Well, here we go. Let's see what we've got. The lap times are pretty equal. The drivers are competitive. 3 laps to go. Green flag drops down the front straightaway. We're racing with the Pinedale Motor and Junior Sprinters. 3 wide for the lead. Or for second, I should say. Edwin Hyde in the 18H. This is exactly what he would want to see. Fighting 3 wide for second place with 2 laps to go. They get themselves straightened around here, still battling out for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Blake Watson to the high side, that's for 4th. White flag is just a fly here. Blake Watson's up on the high side of the 10 of Fusil. That's gonna be good for the 3rd place spot if she can make it stick.
Blake Watson really working that outside.
What a drive. That's down the front straightaway. The checkered flag is in the air. ATH Edwin Hyde takes it. 6X Maxwell. 2 of Blake Watson rallies back for the 3rd place finish. So we'll come on in around here. Ugh. Big jump, big jump. Okay. Where is that checkered flag? 18H, Edwin Hyde. Edwin Hyde hopping out of the car, race fans. Put your hands together for your winner. Edwin, as you pop the helmet off here, we're going to get a checkered flag into your hand. All right, first things first. Go see April Wilson. Get yourself a checkered flag. All right, now you can. Where are you headed? Oh, you want to take a photo? Well, let's get this interview going here. Edwin Hyde, congratulations on the victory tonight. It was clean for you out front there, but business was picking up behind you. Some of these drivers there. You were not the fastest car on the track tonight, but you are number 1.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what happened with the 2 and the 6X here on the front stretch.
Well, you can go home and watch it later tonight. Who do you want to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Grandma's Candy Store for all the treats and BSM for making the truck spindles for me.
Round of applause for the 18H, Edwin Hyde, your winner. We'll swing on in over here and talk to the 6X of Maxwell Lloyd. A tough event out there tonight, but you still ended up on the podium after all that. Swing on around over here. Congratulations on a successful run.
Thank you so much.
Things got pretty dicey over there in turn 4.
Yeah, it's pretty loose and bumpy up there. The car doesn't really handle good. Yeah. Good.
Who do you want to thank tonight?
I will thank Custom Fluid Power, London Drive System, Williams Mobile Service, Infloor Heating, the track for supplying us to race here in Bar Motorsports.
6X, that's Maxwell Lloyd, and we'll swing on in over here. Blake Watson, who was charging on the lead. You got your first win a couple of weeks ago. A tough go tonight, but still an impressive drive to the podium finish. How's the Roadrunner running tonight?
She's running pretty good. Just happened to get caught up in 6X's little Lucy part on that turn 4, coming out of turn 4 there. Had nowhere to go, ended up into him.
Who do you want to thank tonight?
I got to thank my mom, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, Any Electric, Dave Simmons Automotive, and the fans for coming out tonight.
Blake Watson, the Roadrunner tonight. 3 fouls. We'll see them back at the next Grand Bend Speedway event. As they head back to the pits, we'll throw things back upstairs to Kate.
Great interviews by the junior sprints. They get better and better every week. Next on the card for tonight is going to be the NASCAR Ontario Pro Sprints. Their second feature tonight. Will Brent Kemps be able to lead a redemption against Adrian Kemps in this next one?
NASCAR Pro Sprints up on the track right now. The descendants of the old 440 series. They're back as an experimental class this year. These aren't exhibition races, but they, in a sense, they sort of, because they have payouts and they have NASCAR points funds, so they're not an exhibition race. But in a sense, it is an exhibition series because we are exhibiting it. We're showing it off, trying to showcase what the 440s are all about, to try and attract some of those old vehicles that might have used to be running here at Grand Bend Speedway while that series was active. And they're a heck of a lot of fun. It's Kemps and Chapman. As the green flag flies, we're off and running.
Brent Kemps gets a good start.
Yeah, and
Lucas Chapman.
Whoa, he's coming to life here. He kicks it sideways off of turn 4. Somebody came to race tonight. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep that pace up there, but that was neat to see. The 0-1 of Logan Chapman looking racy there for a moment. And that's what he's been wanting, right? When we look at, what does a driver want? They want to be competitive. And the 0-1 of Logan Chapman, suddenly here he's looking competitive. Like the 31 of Adrian Kemp, or which order we got here? The 31 of Adrian Kemps, the previous race winner, is behind the 0-1 of Chapman. And this is where, where I get a little nervous for the 0-1 of Logan Chapman, because he struggled with the handling on that car so much that now he's in this competitive environment here, and when you get competitive like that, you usually start to push things right to the edge, and that's where you can run into a little bit of trouble. Now he's finally got a little bit of speed going here. This is your battle for second place down the back straightaway. These are the NASCAR Ontario Pro Sprints, a developing series at Grand Bend Speedway. We've got 3 of them right now. We hope to continue growing this program in the years to come. The Kemps are really passionate about getting this type of vehicle back on track, and we love them too.
Laps tick away, and Brent is just walking away.
Yeah, it is this battle for second. That's definitely the one to watch. We haven't seen the 0-1 be this competitive at all. I think it's maybe catching the 31. Oh, he's got to the inside now. The 31 of Adrian Kemps gets to the inside of the 0-1 of Chapman. Chapman, though, up on the high side there, holds him off for the moment. That's the power of the big downforce wing there. Keeps these cars right pushed into the pavement. One of the reasons they're so fun to watch, especially once we get a few more of these drivers out here. The Kemps are working with a number of drivers who are planning to make it out, as I understand it, before the end of the season. And if it's got a familiar sound to it, does it sound like winter out here? Sound like winter in a rural environment?
Like a snowmobile?
Like a snowmobile. There's snowmobile engines. They just rip around this track. It's Christmas time in July at Grand Bend Speedway when we start ripping these snowmobile motors around.
We're halfway through, and Brent Kemps is a whole half a straightaway ahead. Sorry, I should say half a track ahead.
Half a track ahead. Whoa! The 0-1 goes around on his own. Caution is out. Let's catch our replay here and see what's going on. Yeah, I just lost it on his own. It was almost as if he had a, let's go see that again. Let's see that again here. We got it slowed down there for us. So this is probably half speed. What happens to him there? He goes into turn 3. He's losing it on the entrance to turn 3. It's almost as if
the back end just started to loop around.
Yeah, but why? I just want to jump. I'll show that one more time. It's going to show it one more time here. See what we got. This is natural speed. Oh, he's slowing it down. That's good too. Right there, he goes just as he starts to turn. Back end comes around. So it could have been a handling. I just wanted to see if it wasn't something on the racetrack. Doesn't appear to have been something on the racetrack. And the green flag in starter Will's hand as we get ready to let him loose. NASCAR Ontario Pro Sprints back at it again. This time the 0-1 of Logan Chapman not able to get a run, as of course he started from the back there after being the cause of the caution. Let's see if he can keep up to these Kemp drivers though.
Chapman's still having a great run this time by in the feature.
Well, week in and week out, like his pace has increased like astronomically. Like if you go back and you watch videos, say, oh, trouble in turn 1 and 2, the 0-1 of Chapman goes for his second loop. Yeah, tough go. Like he's got it. I feel like he's getting the speed, but the handling just isn't quite there on that 0-1 yet. But they're going to keep working on it. You know, oh, he's going to go right off. You know, when we look at what he's been up to, if we were to go back and look at, you know, the opening night for the NASCAR Ontario Pro Sprints, you know, it was not looking good for the 0-1. Like it was not. He was definitely like off pace. Like frustratingly so, I think, for the driver. Looking tonight, like I think now it's the other side of frustration. The other side of frustration is, I think I've got the speed, but now my handling's not there, and now I'm having to retire from the race. You know, with 11 laps to go. Not getting all my laps in there, because laps are really, you know, is it laps that he needs or just to tweak that setup just a little bit more? And I actually think for him it's actually in the setup. I don't necessarily know that it's the driver on this
And
one.
the other part of that is that the drivers all like to drive their car a little bit differently. So what setup may work for the Kemps may not be 100% for Chapman. So they're going to have to tweak and see what's working best for them.
Well, and that's it. You could take the exact setup book that the Kemps are running and put it on the 0-1, and it's not going to be fast. Likewise, once they hit that setup on the 0-1, they could put that on one of these Kemp cars, and it would drive like a wardrobe, right? Like different drivers do like their cars set up differently. There goes, we had a bit of a change for the lead, and we see that change again there. Now it's the 31K of Brent Kemps, who's back out front. His dad had gotten out front there on the restart. But now it is Adrian Kemps Brent Kemps rather, in the 31K out front, the son. And this father-son duo as the laps tick away, 7 laps to go. That time by for Brent Kemps out front in the 31K.
Either way, I think it's going to finish Kemps.
Well, I think these guys have a shot at it. But I do love the father-son duel. I love the one-on-one duel. Some people look at that and they go, well, where are the other cars? Well, everything starts somewhere. I remember years ago at Delaware, we started the Chaos cars with, what was it, 2? We started 2, I think, at the exhibition. Then we had 3. The Chaos cars later become the Bone Stocks. They're the biggest division kicking around in Ontario right now. So you got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. And I think these 440s, actually, I shouldn't be calling them 440s. I kind of like calling them the 440s because I feel like for the people watching at home, it reminds them of like what we're actually talking about. We call them the NASCAR Ontario Pro Sprints. They're the descendants of the 440 cars. And like these were the cars that when people thought Grand Bend Speedway, like in the mid-2000s, this was the car they thought of.
Yeah, this typically, these guys in the mini trucks is what would close out every event here at Grand Bend Speedway back then.
They have a lot in common with the mini trucks, actually. They run the same tires. We don't get too technical up here, too, usually. But checker flag flies. It's going to be Brent Kemps in the 31K who takes it. 31 of Adrian Kemps, good for a second.
We'll start at second place. Adrian, this is the first time out. Brent got you this time. We're still working on the helmet. Helmet, Hans. All right, what did Brent have this time that you just couldn't get him?
On his car to mine. So I just blame it on that. He doesn't want me to win. So no, we go out there, he does what he can for me, and he's got more guts than I do, I think.
Well, I think you have a few more laps than him, this kind of car, so maybe that's why he's doing more work. All right, Brent, what did you do that you didn't do to Dad's car?
I don't know. We did the exact same adjustments. Obviously, the first feature, chasing around, I thought we could get a lot closer than that. So I don't know how far off it was, but we'll watch the live stream when we get home and see what we can do for him for next week. We put 2 new right rears, 1 on each car, and they definitely didn't come up the size we were hoping. So that's definitely a contributing factor because at least him, he was bad fast last 3 weeks ago when we were here, and I couldn't catch him. So it's like, obviously the tables have turned. We just got to tune a little bit more for the small tire we put on. So we'll see.
I think maybe you were playing with his setup. Anyways, fans, put your hands together for Adrian and Brent Kemps.
Country Corners is located in Exeter, Ontario. They are a family-run multi-line power sports dealership selling and servicing motorcycles, snowmobiles, ATVs, side-by-sides, e-bikes, tractors, and more. You can visit them at countrycorners.net. Also want to recognize Marshman Engines, who's been a long-time supporter of competition at Grand Bend Speedway. Keith Marshman has been a trusted and reliable source for small engine repair, maintenance, and diagnostics. Thank you, Marshman Engines. Our newest sponsor at Grand Bend Speedway this week is Marbolt Fasteners in Strathroy. In a need-it-now world, nothing is worse than not being able to take your soybeans off the field, not finish a fabrication job, or even finish the bed frame for families staying the weekend because of a few bolts you couldn't find in town. At Marbolt Fasteners, with over 10,000 and growing different items in stock, we are your solution, locally owned and operated. Visit marbolt.com for Marbolt Fasteners in Strathroy. We also want to recognize that a full schedule of events for everything going on at Grand Bend Speedway. You can visit grandbendspeedway.ca. While you're there, you can sign up for our email newsletter. We also want to note that Grand Bend Family Go-Karts is open daily throughout the summer. When you visit the beach at Grand Bend, this is one stop you've got to make. The karts run here on the quarter-mile NASCAR Tri-Oval track. Call ahead or visit grandbendspeedway.ca for daily operating hours. We're open every day now that it's summer. All right, we've got the mini trucks up on track. The 18 is Mason Culver. The 11 is Colin Klumper. The 53, Nick Thuss. 18H is Edwin Hyde. The 19 is Caleb Gertz. The 4 is Dylan Graham, the winner of the first race. Down the front straightaway, the green flag flies, and we are racing with the mini trucks.
18 of Mason Culver has a great start. Pulls away from the field early. Dylan Graham having to start at the back might make a difference here.
Yeah, Mason Culver's showing how it's done early in the goings here. The 53 of Nick Thuss runs in second. The big fight, though, is that 4th, 5th, and 6th place spot. The 4 of Dylan Graham, he's up 2 positions already, the driver from Glencoe. The mini truck's one of the classic divisions at Grand Bend Speedway, running the 13 horsepower motors, chain driven.
Everybody kind of sliding into single file, but as I say that, there goes Caleb Gertz to the inside of the 53. Dylan Graham was looking under the 53, couldn't quite get there. Falls back into line. Everybody's hunting down the 18 of Mason Culver, driving for Quinn Gertz.
For 3rd place, the 4 of Dylan Graham gets to the inside of the black 53 of Nick Thuss. Thuss out of Watford, Ontario. The 4 of Dylan Graham out of Glencoe. That was good for 3rd place. Again, the 4 of Dylan Graham on the black truck was the winner of the first feature race of the night for the Robson Scrap Metal Mini Trucks.
At the back,
the 19.
We've got the battle of the rookies back there. We've got Edwin Hyde and Colin Klumper. They're putting a good little back and forth between the two of them, running really well together.
Yeah, if you check in with them on the back straightaway, you know there's great racing going on around the track. The 18H of Edwin Hyde and the 11 of Colin Klumper, they're just coming out of turn 4 now. 2 new drivers to this division, and they're racing hard for that spot, building up their experience. Your 2nd place battle, though, heating up here in turn 1. The 19 of Gertz under siege now by the 4 of Dylan Graham from Glencoe. Graham in the black number 4 taking a look up to the high side. A little bit of a bobble there from those drivers off the 4th turn. Graham keeping his foot in it here, keeping full momentum. And he's going to maybe take, he dives to the high side. The mini trucks do have mirrors. They can see what's going on behind them. So you'll sometimes see a little bit of a fake out there. It looked like the 4 of Graham was going to go to the low side. Then he suddenly ducked up high. Watch this. He looks up high. This time he sticks with it.
In these mini trucks, we really talk about sometimes grooves on a track, and there's definitely 2 distinct grooves for the mini trucks to run. There is a groove on the high side, there is a groove on the low side. Low side's normally a preferred groove, but with the 2 grooves for these mini trucks, they're really able to move around on this track.
It's that balance you're running. You know, the inside groove is the shorter way around the racetrack, but you scrub off more speed as you go through the corner. Trouble on the back straightaway. The 18H of Edwin Hyde, slow on the backstretch, draws our first caution in the Robson scrap metal mini trucks. And Kate, you know, when you and I used to race junior late models, I've got a sinking feeling I know exactly what happened on that 18H. Do you? Do you know that sinking feeling in your stomach as a driver?
I'm gonna say a chain came off.
Chain failure.
I actually ran a mini truck here too.
Did you?
I did.
Did you bring pictures to alumni night?
No, but I was here and I interviewed the drivers down there. Does that count?
It counts. But yeah, we're sitting here watching, Kate and I are watching, you know, when you see a driver and they just slow down the back straightaway just like that, just gradually slowing down the back straightaway. They can have their pedal, they usually don't at that point, but they can have their pedal to the metal. They can be pushing the gas down as hard as they want. Again, it's like you're riding your bike down the street and the chain falls off it. It's not gonna matter how hard you pedal. You're not going anywhere. And that's what's happened here to the 18H of Edwin Hyde. Question is, can they recover the drive chain? Did it fall off or is it wrapped around the axle? Most teams have a spare. Sometimes the drive chain explodes, leaving little pieces of chain all over the racetrack. But usually they stick together. It's usually one link that breaks. Okay. Safety crew just going to give a little bit of a push there. I'm looking up here in the grandstand. Is Grandma Gertz here tonight? Is Grandma here tonight? No, no, Grandma's not here tonight. Okay. It was her night for free ice cream. No, it wasn't. I wasn't going to give her the free ice cream. What? You're her daughter. Gets us part of the way there. I'll think about it. I'm supposed to give one more ice cream away tonight, but it's supposed to go to a kid. You seem gutsy. Well, let me see if I have it. Let me go check. Let me see if I have it. Okay, let's go have a look. Let's see what we got. Go through all my stuff here. I hope it's an ice cream coupon and not an actual ice cream because it would be very melted. Oh, it's here. Okay. Lucky kid. Lucky
yeah, John,
kid.
if it was a ice cream in that trailer, it would be real melted.
Okay, where'd that kid go?
I think it'd be soup.
Okay, there's that kid. Okay, you're gonna have to do something though. Wait a minute, didn't you already eat ice cream tonight? Double ice cream! Double ice cream for you tonight. Hey, you think I'm not gonna give it to you because you bought an ice cream from us?
No.
Oh, that's right. So you're gonna be, you feel brave? You feel brave tonight? Okay, follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow the ice cream coupon. Faster, 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 faster. Okay. Oh, we're gonna enter the restricted zone. Come with me. Come up the steps. Okay, we're up behind Will. We're gonna scare him. Boo! It's us. What's your name? Where are you from?
Reed, and I'm from Stratford.
Okay. Do you know how powerful this flag is? Are you aware?
No.
Okay, this is the most powerful flag in motorsports. Everybody thinks they want the checkered flag, but it's the green flag that makes everything happen. So Will's our official flag man. You're gonna hold this. Don't display it. You're gonna throw the drivers off. You gotta, okay. And when Will gives you the signal, you gotta hold, are you holding on tight? Yeah, make sure you don't let go, and you're gonna wave it. Sort of in a figure 8 formation is actually, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. If you do well at this, you will be rewarded.
Okay.
Okay. Don't wave it till Will says so, and I'll stay back here to help you down once that's done. What was your name again? He's not listening. I need to write their names down. And I stand behind him because sometimes they get scared and they try to fall backwards, but he won't.
John, his name is Reed.
Reed. Kate, you're like a walking notebook. You're like a walking notebook. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, Reed's ready. Okay, Mason Culver out front in the green 18. 19, Gertz up high. 4 is Dylan Graham. 53, Nick Thusty. 11 is Colin Klumper. Reed's got the green flag in his hand.
Reed's going to throw the green flag for his cousin in the 11.
Here we go. Give him a cheer as he throws the green flag. We're off and racing.
He got ice cream and got to be a part of his cousin's race. I think that's a pretty good night at the racetrack. Dylan Graham goes to the inside of Caleb Gertz. Down the backstretch, headed into turns 3 and 4. Dylan Graham on the inside, Caleb Gertz holding his own on the outside. He's gonna fall into line. Behind Dylan Graham, Culver, Graham, Gertz. Top 3.
Gertz continuing to lead the 4 of Dylan Graham, the Glencoe driver, giving chase.
Dylan Graham trying to see what he can do to make it 2 features tonight, tracking down the 18 of Culver. But this time by, there'll only be 1 to go. Does he have enough in the tank to get Mason Culver? Culver comes out of turn 4. Checkers in the air. Mason Culver, Dylan Graham, Caleb Gertz round out your top 3.
So Mason Culver in the borrowed truck. We'll swing on in here, and up next, the Huron Traxi Service late models to round out the evening. Popping off all that safety equipment. And he pops out a winner. Race fans, put your hands together for the 18 of Mason Culver. Give that flag a wave. Give it a real wave. Like a jump on the truck, why don't you? Jump up on the side of the, no, it's not his, he says. It's not mine, it's a rental. It's a rental. He says, stop coaching me, I know what to do. Mason, congratulations, a successful run in the borrowed truck. What's the story tonight? What brings you here?
Thank you. Yeah, that was a great race. The first race was a lot of fun too. That yellow that came out there made it a lot more exciting, and that was fun to be racing with all these kids again. It's a blast. They all race clean. Everyone has a good time. I miss this type of racing. They've all came a long way too, like Caleb, Dylan, Quinn normally. The rookies, Colin and Edwin as well. They're doing awesome too. Nick, my old truck, he's coming a long way too. But yeah, Quinn was away and asked Gary if I could drive it. He said sure, so I was happy we kept it in one piece for him. And basically, I just got to say thanks to my cousin Justin Culver for coming out and helping. My cousin Trevor as normal. My dad, Gary and Quinn for letting me use the truck. Rick, anyone who helped in the pits there too. Today, I'm going to dedicate this race to my friend Jaggery. He's been one of my best friends since kindergarten, and we had his funeral today, so it's good to be able to get a win for him.
Okay, for Jaggery, race fans, put your hands together. Mason Culver And Mason, come on around for the photo here. We'll get a photo. We'll get a good photo for you. We'll throw things back up to the tower.
Fans, this will bring out the last feature of tonight.
There's trouble on the racetrack. Something has gone wrong on one of the late models.
The 99
Which one?
Jumping Fluid.
Yeah, there was a sudden, a sudden red flag on the track. There was a report of some fluid on the racetrack, and race control got right on it because if a vehicle dumps fluid on the racetrack, it can cause major slippery conditions. And so if we get that vehicle down to the infield quickly, we can salvage the racetrack much more effectively. And so safety crews down there having a look, and the other question you ask, you say, well, what kind of fluid was it? Are we leaking fuel? Are we leaking oil? Are we just leaking water? What's that fluid? They're looking at the back end of it there. I might be able to run down with the camera here. Let's.
Well, I think aided, and I think there's a part.
Well, let's go exploring. Let's go see what's going on. We got a red flag out here in the late models, which means the track is available for me. If you stick around, this might lead to some more ice cream. You never know. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. All right, first things first. JP, go camera 3. Is this the fluid? Yes, there it is. And so that's a little slippery. I think it might just be gas. Gasoline. So is his gas cap just off? Oh, it's a simple fix. Okay. Whew. So that's actually not going to be too bad. The gasoline's going to evaporate quickly. And we actually don't even need the speedy dry. Sorry, safety crew, no speedy dry tonight. No speedy dry tonight. We're going back racing fast. Don't say that. Oh, we're going to go back racing fast. I don't know what's going to happen next. Safety crew says, don't say that, because they've actually had a pretty quiet night, actually. But I have no ladder.
Huron Transfer Service late models bring the thrill of high-intensity late model racing to GBS as the track's top local division in the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series. Cobra tires help keep racing affordable and fair for drivers. Special thanks to Huron Transfer Service for their support, serving Central Huron and surrounding areas. Give them a call at 519-482-1100 to book your next ride. Dock Stater Property Maintenance Bone Stocks provide a low-cost option for getting into full-size racing using cars that are readily available through scrap yards. Dock Stater Property Maintenance provides lawn maintenance, snow, and ice control management for the Oneida Nation of the Thames, Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, Muncie Delaware Nation, Strathroy Caradoc Township, and South London. Robson
from
scrap
Grand
metal
Bend.
mini trucks.
From the drag strip. I was gonna say, you guys, we don't usually see you guys over here. This is exciting.
We don't get much time to spend over here, but when we do get an off night, hey, we're gonna come over and visit and check out the other side of the property and see what's going on. So glad to see everybody out here tonight. Thank you for coming. Yeah, interesting evening.
Always interesting here at Grand Bend Speedway. The drags, it's a whole motorplex. Lots of fun out here every weekend during the summer, pretty much. Good to see you.
You too, man.
All right, sneaking up on that kid. All right, what kind of ice cream did you get this time?
Bubble gum.
What'd you get last time?
Bubble gum.
Oh, double bubble gum, double bubble. All right, well, enjoy, okay?
Thank you.
Well, our Huron taxi late models are running and ready.
All right, starter Will's got the flag in his hand.
One to go on the Speedway till we go green flag racing with the Huron taxi late models.
Okay, here we go now, down towards turns 3 and 4. Here on Taxi Service late models, set to round out the evening. 35 laps to distance. Everyone's got their gas caps on, and we're going green flag racing. Side by side, down the back straightaway. Jeremy Curtis in the 99. Wheel to wheel with the one of Jonathan Schwemmler. Still wheel to wheel here out of turn 2, but slides back. Rylan Fascinato in the 25. In the third place spot, 67, is Olivia Curtis.
Jeremy Curtis definitely looking racy out there. Something on the inside of the one machine.
Your running order looks like this. The number 1 of Jonathan Schwemmler leading the way. The 99, Jeremy Curtis, desperately trying to rally back here. Again, we had that early race red flag. He had his gas cap off, spilled a little bit of gas on the racetrack there. We threw caution, we threw the red flag because we didn't want to see fluid all around the racetrack. That takes a huge amount of time to clean up. But it was just a little bit of gasoline, and he's up and running pretty good here suddenly. Your front trio looks like this. 1, Jonathan Schwemmler, 99, Jeremy Curtis, 25, Rylan Fascinato, 67 of Olivia Curtis. And I don't want to jinx this driver because she's doing such a great job tonight. Olivia has been working so hard to build up her experience portfolio on this racetrack. And tonight, she's made every single lap. The car's been pointing in the right direction, I think, all night long. This is like, I'm not joking, this is awesome. This is a great night for the 67.
And that's what we like to see. We like to see drivers improve, get the experience, and continue to run laps over and over again. And then even to become contenders later on in the racing career.
And that's what it takes. First you get comfortable, then you get fast, then you become a contender. And you know, we've got 3 up front here. Like, you look at this trio here. The 1 of Schwemmler, the 99 of Jeremy Curtis, the 25 Rylan Fascinato. One thing that I don't think that comes across on the live stream or even in person when we see them rumbling down the front stretch like this. I'll ask you, Kate, have you ever driven one of these on this track?
I have never driven a late model on this track.
So Gord Bennett, one of the promoters here, he put me in the passenger seat when they had the ride-along car, which I think was the 67 car before it got reconfigured. And I will say, like, in my time over at Delaware, they had ride-alongs for the announcers to sort of show us like what it felt like. The G-forces at Grand Bend are higher than Delaware. Just when they throw into the corner and they make the turn, it's definitely a bull ring style track. But these drivers, like, when each time they go into turn, like, you look at the 1 at Schwemmler, when he makes that left, whack, he's thrown right into the side of the seat, back on the gas, and throws you back in the seat. And
Well,
like,
that's
it
the
almost
thing,
makes you
right?
dizzy.
That's the thing, right? Like, you really have to muscle a tighter track. So this bullring style of a track, you're really gonna have to muscle the car more to throw it in with these bigger late models with all that horsepower.
Yeah, and I think if I was to editorialize a little bit, I can't speak for the late model drivers in the province. I think that is sort of the trick, is that we are used to the larger styles of tracks, and that, you know, those are a lot of fun. You get the speed, you get the thrills, they're awesome. But this is the bull ring. You know, I keep comparing Grand Bend to, people remember the old Barrie Speedway before it closed down. And this track actually reminds me a lot of Barrie Speedway, a lot. And they race late models on that track to great success, right? And so I think the challenge for Grand Bend Speedway is that we're stuck in 1996. We're thinking of it like the track that you and I raced on when we were kids. But the track was expanded, and one of the reasons it was expanded was to run full-size cars. And really only, you know, since 2020s when Tabitha and Gord took the track over, we've seen the late model program come in. The bone stock program was getting started before the 2020s, but
Yeah,
really,
they had 4 cylinders when they first expanded the track.
yeah, and that was what they built it for. They said, okay, we'll start with the 4 cylinders, and then you sort of see where you go. And you know, when I close my eyes and think of Grand Bend Speedway, oftentimes now I do think of a late model ripping around. I also think of a mini truck. I also think of a junior sprint. But there's so many different styles of racing that are on this bull ring these days, and you know, the late models are part of that program. And you know, Jonathan Schwemmler in the one car, he's been a huge ambassador for the program. You know, his car wasn't ready for opening night, that number 1, and he was up here in the booth just teaching me about late model racing, you know, what it takes to put a car together, and even watching his competitors and saying, this is what he's doing, this is where he's going right, this is where he's going wrong, this would be the setup change I would make. So these drivers, they're getting smart too. Like, the more laps they're getting in, they're starting to figure it out. And as we look on the track, I think we're actually going to see a battle here, because the 99, one thing you find in a 35 lap feature race, the car either gets better or it gets worse. It doesn't stay the same, right? The tires heat up, they change in circumference, the handling's going to change, the stagger's going to change, and I think we're seeing the 99 falling off a bit.
But it's not even just the tires that are going to change. The track's going to change too. These cars put a lot of heat into this track, with it being a tighter surface, and when they start to spread out, there's always heat in the track. So not only are your tires heating up, the track's going to heat up. It's already a hot day. So how much more heat can we possibly put in it? Well, you're seeing that by the 99's handling changing.
And it's funny, it's so hot out tonight. I don't usually wear shorts to the racetrack, but I wore shorts tonight. Normally, and it's just when I used to work at Delaware, one of the rules was that we had to wear long pants. It was a safety thing. And sure enough, I went down and was pulling the ripcord on one of the Ontario Pro Sprints, and I did burn my right leg on the tire. Not on the engine, but the tires were so hot. I didn't burn it badly, just like little, you know, but ow. But it goes to show, like, the work that's going into these cars and the changes that can be made just by getting heat in those tires, getting heat on the racetrack. The track isn't the same as it was when they went out for their heat race earlier tonight. And again, what I really do think what we're seeing here, the 99 of Jeremy Curtis, the handling is going away on that car. The 925 of Ryland Fascinato seems consistent. Kicking it right, like you can see, Ryland's working really hard to get the loud pedal down, to get as much power as he can down with the handling that he's got. The question is going to be, can he get there? Like, he's looking high.
2 to go that time by.
And he kicks the back end on him again. But it is a tight bull ring, so where are you going to make your pass? You've got to either get down, you got to get position. White flag flies, they're going to run out of time here, final lap. For the one of Jonathan Schwemmler. Checkered flag for the one of Jonathan Schwemmler, takes the win. So we'll come on down and catch a word with our winner. Kate's heading down. And as we look ahead on our schedule for Grand Bend Speedway,
Our next race event is Saturday, July 12th. The Can-Am Midgets are here. The winged sprints of the Can-Am Midgets. The three-quarter sprint cars are here next Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Don't miss it. As Jonathan Schwemmler in that number 1.
He's getting unbuckled, getting his helmet off, getting the hat on, and he's coming out of the car, the number 1. Well, you're back again. What is the key to making this car finish in victory lane twice in one night?
Lots of work. Some time down at McCall's helped, but nice long run car.
And do you find on this track the long run car works way better than the short run? What's your strategy with that?
Well, it's 35 laps. A lot happens in 35 laps. It doesn't look like it, but there's a lot that happens. I think the first 10 laps or so, the 99 kind of stayed with me. After that, I think I had an advantage.
We really talked about throwing this car into the corner. What does it take at Grand Bend Speedway as opposed to a bigger track for people that aren't used to late models at smaller tracks? What does it take? Does it take a lot more muscle strength? Does it take a lot more determination to get in and out?
It takes a little bit of determination. Like, you really need to start your corner early. You're not on the throttle for very long here, but, you know, cornering's half the track.
Well, again, the 1 ends up in victory lane. Jason Schwemmler, put your hands together, fans.
So that'll do it. Where's our mic? Oh, we're out of range. There we are. That'll do it for us tonight at Grand Bend Speedway. Lots of fun was had. Remember, we're back next week with the three-quarter scale Can-Am Midget Series winged sprint cars. That's going to be totally great to come out and see. 6:30 p.m. the scheduled start time next Saturday. My name's John Houghton. Was joined tonight by Kate Friel. Had a great evening of racing. Hope you folks enjoyed it. We'll see you at the next exciting event at Grand Bend Speedway.